Hello, welcome to episode 2.
There's our blanket, excellent.
An asymmetrical twin. Dropping and sinking.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Namaste Yoga. This week I have my guests with me. We've got Ninka from Yoga Bliss and we've got Monique here from one of my yoga classes. So thank you so much for coming today, ladies. Today we're going to be working on the last in a series of classes which we used Michael Lee's book, Turning Stress into Bliss, using the themes from those books. And the theme today is discovering your personal truth. So that's what we'll be focusing on. And I just wanted to give an extra special thanks to Michael Lee for his inspiration for the last 7 weeks of classes here. So go ahead and rest back and we will start in Shavasana, lying on your backs. Okay, so as you rest back in Shavasana, I want you to focus in and really noticing what's happening in your body right now. So feel the body as it rests against the ground. Feel the spine as it lengthens out. And we can start right in on our theme right away of noticing what's really true for you right now in your body. So sometimes we'll have resistance around the way the body is, but right now let's really tune in and really notice what's happening. So is there any bracing in the body, any holding, any stiffness? And also we can tend to get caught up in pain in our bodies. So there might be also areas that we can notice where things are relatively free and calm and easy. So just really be clear about what's happening for you right now in your body. And then tuning into the breath. And oftentimes when I tune into the breath, I become the doer of the breath rather than just being with my breath. And so right now, allow yourself to really be with the breath. And just notice what's happening with the breath, what's true for the breath today. Maybe the inhalation's longer than the exhalation. Maybe there's some tightness in the belly or the chest. Just really noticing what's true for your breath right now, without trying to change it or shift it in any way. Becoming really curious about the breath. Notice how the breath in is. Noticing the breath out and the spaces between the breath as well. Then let's tune into the emotions today. So being really honest with yourself about what you're feeling. What are your feeling sensations today? And again, there are times when we really gravitate towards, more positive emotions or resist the more negative ones. But let's really bring light to anything that exists right now and just noticing how you're feeling without any judgment and being very compassionate about what is really happening for you right now with your feelings. And one thing that I notice too when I ask people how they're feeling, there's a very sort of limited vocabulary around that. So it's not just happy or sad. There can be feelings of ease or joy or frustration and anxiety. There's a very wide range of emotions that you can tune into in your body. Just notice emotionally what's true for you right now. And now tune into the thinking mind and bring some awareness to what's going on in the mind. So again, I think the mind just goes on and on and on, like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. Notice what's really true for you, what's on your mind right now. Maybe there are some thoughts that are nicer for you to sit with, some thoughts that are more unpleasant. But just notice what's happening without any judgment. And then tune into your spiritual connection right now. So what's true for you there right now? I know sometimes life gets so busy that we can feel very disconnected. But when you sit back and reflect and become quiet, what's really happening? How is that spiritual connection, that connection to the higher source for you? So as we move into our practice today, I want you to be reflecting on what's really true for you right now, knowing that truth changes throughout your life. And notice where you are in your life right now, what you're leaving behind, what you're moving towards. And as we practice today, maybe through your yoga practice, you can notice what's your personal truth, and that might be your intention for today. But, I know we all have very busy lives. So let's reflect for a moment too on our lives off the yoga mat. Just take a note of what's happening for you right now. And when you consider your everyday life right now, take a moment to set an intention around how this yoga practice over the next hour can best serve you in your life right now. Maybe looking at your personal truth today is just like way too much. Maybe that's too big a project today, and then that's okay. You can come back to this another time. Maybe today it's a matter of needing to slow down and do less, or maybe it's a matter of your shoulders are really sore and then you're going to really focus on caring for your shoulders today. Or maybe you feel really anxious and your intention is going to be around releasing anxiety. So whatever it is for you that will best serve you in your life, take a moment to set an intention around that. Then when you're ready, we're going to start to gently stretch out, wiggling your fingers and your toes. And we're going to start lying on your back by releasing the neck. We're going to bring a lot of focus around the neck today and the third eye, because the neck is the fifth chakra, and that has to do all with speaking your personal truth and living your truth. And then the third eye here, the sixth chakra, has to do with having a vision for your life. So if we're looking at discovering our personal truth, to me, moving these energetic areas of the body is going to be very effective in helping to expose that for you. So we're on our backs and we're going to start with some really nice gentle neck releases. So what we're going to do is breathe in the center. We're going to breathe out and roll the head to one side. And then we'll breathe the head in the center again. And we'll breathe out and gently roll the head to the other side. So just moving nice and slow and easy with breath, and see how much you can relax the neck to allow it to release and let go. And then we'll bring the head back center, and we're going to just gently add on to this. So we'll breathe the head in center. Breathe out. As you roll the head to the right, I want you to slide that right shoulder down. And then we'll breathe in center. And we'll breathe out, roll the head to the left, and slide the left shoulder down. Moving slowly with breath and movement, gentle ease. Right, and then the next time the head comes center, allow it to settle in and just notice the space at the back of the neck. And check in now. We're going to do some more releasing of the neck, and you might notice as we go on that the curves at the back of the neck and lower in the back just become less, which is really nice, more grounded. So now we're going to do a great pose called 10 tigers running through the forest. And the 10 tigers are your fingers, and the forest is your hair. So you're going to start at the base of the neck. Your fingertips are going to run right along the lower edge of the skull, and they're going to run up through the hair. And the action of the fingers coming up just lifts the head off the ground a little bit, giving a nice stretch to the back of the neck. So there's no effort in lifting the head here. It's just a nice gentle running the tigers through the forest here. Great, and then we'll come back and move on. We're going to bend the knees so the feet are flat on the ground. And we'll hold on to the elbows here. And let the shoulders be really heavy here. We're going to breathe in. We'll breathe out. We'll roll the head to the right, lower the elbows to the right. And then you're going to breathe that in center. And then we'll breathe out, lower the elbows to the left, head rolls to the left. And breathe in center. Okay, then we'll inhale the elbows back center. I want you to leave the head in the center, eyes looking up towards the ceiling. And we're going to breathe in, breathe out, the elbows lower to the right. And then breathe in center. And breathe out with the head in the center, the elbows lower to the left. Let the shoulders be really heavy on the ground. Yeah, and just allow tension to unwind for the body. And even as you're working here or releasing here, you can just notice what's true for me right now about my shoulders and my neck without judging it in any way. Just really tuning in and bringing some compassionate awareness to it. Okay, so we'll inhale the elbows back center. We're going to exhale, elbows go to the right, head rolls to the left. So we're moving counter rotation here. And then breathe in center, breathe out, elbows go to the left, head rolls to the right. Great. And then bringing it back center. Now we're going to add the legs. So you're going to lower the head and the elbows to the right. Roll that to the right as the knees sway to the left. And then we'll breathe in center. Breathe out, head and elbows sway to the left as the knees sway to the right. And then we're going to do one more in this series where the elbows will sway to the right, the head and knees will go to the left. And then we'll breathe in center. Elbows go to the left, head and knees sway to the right. And then we'll inhale everything back center. I want you to take your arms down by the side of the body and even to lengthen the legs out long. And I just want you to check in, and we brought some awareness to the curves in the lower spine and the neck, and just notice if there's more ease there and if the spine is sinking and dropping towards the ground anymore. This isn't to say that the spine should be flat on the ground. Far from it. There's natural curves in the spine, but just that the curves might be more gentle now, and less strained, and less sort of, neck like this and low back like this. Just the ribs might be resting into the ground more. The shoulders might be resting into the ground more. And so this is an example of how the truth changes. So as we were working through this, I said to notice your shoulders, notice your neck, and what's true for them now. And now when we reflect at the end of the practice, notice that what's true for the neck and the shoulders has already shifted. So things are always constantly changing, and this can be very comforting in life sometimes. Okay, from here we're going to continue this really nice, very relaxing releasing of the neck by bending the knees. We'll roll to the side and come up to seated. And I want you to just come into a comfortable seated position. If you want to stick a blanket under your pelvis for a little prop, that would be totally fine. Okay, so we're going to do the 4 movements of the neck here. And this is very simple. If your neck is tight, it's a great exercise for it. All right, so 4 movements of the neck. Let's just start with chin to chest, dropping the chin to the chest, stretching out the back of the neck. Okay, and then we're going to bring the head up, and we'll drop the our right ear to the right shoulder, your left ear to the left shoulder. And then we'll breathe the head in center, lowering the, bending the head to the other side. And then bringing the head back center, we'll turn the head to one side, like an owl here. And head to the other side. Then we'll gently roll the head in front. And then coming back center, we're gonna gradually make our way up to standing now. So I just want you to just notice what's happening in the neck and the shoulders now as you start to come up to standing. So nice and slow, we'll just stand up. Great. So in standing, we're going to work with eagle's arms. So I'm going to get you to bring your right arm up, our left. Yep. And then we'll hook the left arm underneath and bring the palms together. And there's eagle's arms. And I think I'm just going to turn sideways so I can talk to you a little better. All right. So here's a couple of things for eagle's arms. You can bring the elbows in closer to the body and lower down, and that makes the stretch way less intense. But if you want more of a stretch, you can pull the elbows away and lift it a little bit. So let's just hold it here for a few breaths. I think eagle's arms are such a great posture and configuration to help you. You know, eagles have such great vision. So if we're talking about discovering our personal truth, then eagle's arms help you to have a vision for your life, to live your truth. And then what we're going to do is, as you breathe in, you're going to lift the elbows up. And as you breathe out, you're going to lower the elbows down. So breathing in, elbows come up. Breathing out, elbows lower down. Okay, and then we're going to do elbows to one side, head to the other, and switching. And just notice how that feels today. And you might want to take a break at any point and come back in. And so my arms are getting to the point where I want a little break before I continue on. So take it out and just feel the difference between the two shoulders here. And then we'll go back to it, okay? So we'll take the right arm up again, our left, and hook the left arm underneath our right. Okay, so we're gonna make these gestures a little bigger. So we're gonna inhale, take the arms up. You can even come into a little back bend here, and then we'll exhale and fold all the way forward. And let the back of the neck be long. Good. And inhale, come on up into a back bend. And exhale, folding forward, and really hang forward. Let the back of the neck be long, let the crown of the head drop towards the ground. Yeah, nice, very good. And inhaling and up. So I want you to follow Ninka and Monique on this one, because I'm not really letting go at the end of it, so as not to bang the microphone, so to make a really noisy noise here. So really try and release and let go here. Okay. And then we're going to circle the elbows. So you're going to circle them around in little circles. Okay. Nice. My shoulder is actually getting to the point where it's starting to agree with this. Before this point, it was like, I'm not so sure about this today. Circling them the other way as well. Okay, and then, you know, this is not for everybody, and this is a matter of discovering your personal truth, right? And it's definitely not for me, but you can make these circles bigger, and I know some of my students love this. So you can circle the whole body down and around and up. I do that once, and I get extraordinarily dizzy, so it might be for you, it might not be. So for me, my truth right now is that it's better for me to stay here with smaller circles. Good, and then we'll come to just a little side bend here too. Bending to the side. Great. And then release that down. And I want you to feel the difference between the two shoulders. And you guys can probably see that on all of us, between this shoulder feels like it's up by my ear in comparison, really. And, I did neglect that. Not everybody will be able to bring their palms together here. A nice modification, and I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier, would just be to cross the right arm over and hook the left arm underneath. So that would be a nice modification. And then you could still do everything we just did, the up and down, side to side. Okay, great. So let's release this. Are you ready for the other side? Balance yourselves out. Okay, so let's bring our left arm up, which is our right. And then hook your right arm underneath for those at home. Great. And we're going to inhale, bring the elbows up. And breathe out and lower them down. Inhaling them up. And exhale, lower them down. And then we'll take the elbows to one side and the head to the other. So side to side. This is not a very good choice of postures for when you're working with a mic. I think this is where we took a break last time too. So release the arms. Oh, take a little break. That's intense. You get tingling? Yeah. But we're creating so much space in the shoulder joints, and it feels good, but wow, it's intense. Take a little break from that. Small movements, but intense. Okay, so let's do that again. Carry on. Left arm up, right arm hooks underneath it. So, okay, so we were getting to the circling. And then circling the other way. Good. And then we can go for the bigger gestures where we inhale, take the arms up, tucking the tail under, little back bend here, and then exhaling and rolling forward. And inhaling and coming up, tail swoops under, reaching the heart up, and exhaling and folding forward. And if you want to hang in the down position, you can. So just notice what feels good. Okay, and then we can go back to those big circles if you want, where you circle the whole body. But if that's not great for you, then we'll go back to the smaller circles. And we'll circle the other way as well. Right, and then we'll release. Oh, one more. We got one more. Side bending, just a little bit of side bending here. Okay, and then come on back center. Great, let's release the shoulders. Okay, so just notice how the neck feels, maybe the length of the neck. You might, my experience right now, so my personal truth right now is that my neck is definitely longer than it was before. And I also feel really longer and across the shoulders too. So to me, that means that my chest is probably a little more open even here. So just notice what's true for you right now. And then today I thought we would work with the warrior postures, because I think the warrior postures are so great for being really honest with ourselves about our own personal truth in our lives at this present moment. So I'm going to get you to come and stand towards the back of your mat. Yeah, sure, that's great. Okay. And then we'll all go this way. Excellent. That's great. Okay, so what we're going to do is taking a step forward with the right foot. And we're going to do Warrior One like Esther Myers taught it. So it'll be a small step forward. So a normal step forward. And I want you to have your feet like they're in railroad tracks, so pointing straight ahead. And just check in with that back heel and make sure it's straight. And then in order to bend the front right knee, I want you to really sink through that right sit bone. Tail can swoop under. And then we're going to bring the arms up. Great. So Warrior One is really about standing in the present moment and facing your life head on, facing your truth straight on. So not turning away from it, but really being in the moment, not leaning forward, not leaning back, just facing your life head on. So from this pose, we can really discern our personal truth. Okay, and then I want you guys to stay there. We'll bring the hands down, and we're going to take a little bigger step with the right foot forward. And I want you to bend that right knee. Back left leg is straight. You're going to spin your left hip back and your right hip forward for Warrior Two. So the arms will come up parallel to the ground, and you'll be looking over top of your right fingertips. So with Warrior Two, you have one hand reaching into the past, drawing all that wisdom and learning and experience from the past into your present. And then you're also looking forward, so there's a vision for your life as you look forward here. But still, we're grounded in the present moment. Great. And then we're going to take a step either forward or back and come towards the back of the mat again. And what we're going to do now is come into Warrior 3. And Warrior 3 for me is, you know, sometimes life pulls the rug out from underneath you, and yet we must still onward, soldier on, be the spiritual warriors that we are. Especially as women, we tend to be advocates for so many people in our work and with our children and our families. So Warrior 3 to me is like how to still have strength when life knocks you off balance. So we're going to inhale, bring the arms straight up. We're going to stand on the left leg, and we'll just tip that whole thing forward. And you can, so maybe Monique can even demonstrate this, to come forward and use the wall or a ledge to help for balance too. Great, and then we'll come up slowly, and we're going to do Warrior 1, 2, and 3 on the other side. So if you want to stand towards the back of your mat again, and we'll take a step forward with the left foot. So a small step with both feet pointing straight ahead, sinking down through that front left sit bone, lengthening that back right leg long out of the pelvis. And then we'll take the arms straight up. Nice. So this is a little different than a lot of people teach Warrior 1. I really like it because there's a nice straight line from the ankle to the knee to the hip. Great stretch for the back of the calf and the Achilles here. And also because it's so straight, great stretch at the front of the hip too. So almost like a different pose from the way Warrior 1 is traditionally taught. Yeah, but really great. Good. And in Warrior 1, we want the shoulders to be relaxed. Good. Nice. Okay, and then we'll lower those arms down. We'll turn the right toes out at the back, and we're going to go with a more traditional Warrior 2, where you take a bigger step forward. Left heel lines up with the arch of the back right foot. We'll bend the front knee by sinking the left sit bone, spinning the left hip back and the right hip forward. The arms will come up parallel to the ground, and we'll look over top of the left fingertips. So in this pose, we want to really be careful of the knees. Yeah, so we want to roll that knee out over the second and third toe, and then it's like cowabunga. Can I feel my legs working? And when the legs come to that place where they feel like they're really strong, but also in a lot of way really recruiting that muscular strength too, you know they're in that right spot. Okay. Okay, and then slowly lower those arms down. We'll step forward and then back, and we'll come into Warrior 3 here. So let's take the arms straight up. We're going to stand on the right leg this time. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to tip forward into Warrior 3. Great. And I think like Warrior 3 is such a great pose. Like we just do the best that we can, right? And that's how it is when life throws you off balance and throws you a curveball. You just do the best that you can with what you have at that time. And I think Warrior 3 is like such a great metaphor for life. Life happens. And when we gain strength in these poses, then we can take that strength out into our own lives. When we're really clear on our personal truth, then it makes it easier for us to know how to be and do when life is more challenging. And then we'll slowly come up to standing. Great. And we'll release the arms down. Okay. So I know I said we were going to do shoulder stand today, but we're not going to because we don't have enough time. So we're going to come down to seated. Let's come to a seated position. And instead what we'll do is a nice seated position, and we'll do a nice mudra too to finish up. So let's take the legs out long in front of us. We're going to come towards cow's face legs. So why don't we take our right, your left in, crossing that leg over the right leg. And then if it's possible, we'll bring the right leg for you, our left, up to the left buttocks. Yeah, nice. That looks great. And we'll sit in cow's face. How do those hips feel? Nice. And I thought we would sit in cow's face with eagle's arms. So to me, I know cow's face arms are supposed to be here, but to me, these go together so nicely. Like they seem like they fit. So why don't we bring up our left arm, your right, and we'll hook the other one underneath. Okay? And we'll sit in cow's face. Taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Make sure that both buttocks are evenly sinking into the ground. Okay, and then we'll release that. Whew. Okay, let's little twist to one side. Spine nice and straight. It was so interesting when we come to the mat each day how things are so different and the truth is always shifting and changing. So for me right now, my truth is that my SI joints are really sore and tender and feeling really vulnerable. So for me, I can't be yanking myself into these twists right now. I need to really, my truth is that I need to be very gentle with myself in these poses. And so for you, there'll be other things that you'll have to notice and be aware of. And that's just what's true for me physically. Okay, and then we'll come back center. And we'll twist to the other side. And then release that, and we'll release the legs, uncross the legs, and give them a little shake and a wiggle. Cow's face pose used to be really easy for me. I could sit in it for a long time, and it shifts, it changes over time. Okay, so this time I'm going to get those of you at home to take your right leg and cross it over. It'll be our left. And then maybe we can take that extended leg and bend it in. And, if it's not working out today, then you can leave that bottom leg out. That's totally a fine way to do this pose. Thank you, Monique. So Monique's going to demonstrate this whole sequence with the bottom leg out. Okay, so we're sitting down on both sides of the buttocks. You know what? My SI joint is just screaming at me today, so I am also going to sit with my leg out for this one. You think the cushion would help that? Let's see. A little lift if that helps. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm actually still going to do it with the leg out. Okay, so now let's take the right arm up, our right, their left. And we'll hook the other arm underneath it. Okay, and then releasing, we'll do a little twist to the side. And a little twist to the other side. And then come back center. And we're going to finish with a seated mudra today. So you could stay in cow space pose, or you could come to your more comfortable cross-legged. And if cross-legged isn't comfortable for you, you could sit on a chair, or I know some people that sit like this for mudras, or like this, so whatever is most comfortable for you. And our mudra today is a mudra for truth. And we're going to bring the arms up, and the elbows are going to be parallel to the ground, and the arms are going to be at a 90-degree angle. And I want you to think about using your back to keep the arms raised. And as you sit here, I want you to focus in on your mudra, and your affirmation can be, I am aware of my personal truth. I am aware of my personal truth. And I'm going to get you to stay with this for probably about 3 minutes would be really great. But we are going to be wrapping up here today at Namaste Yoga. So I want to thank you so much for joining us for the 7th episode of Namaste Yoga, for discovering your personal truth. And I want to thank again Ninka and Monique for being with us here today, and for being such fabulous participants here on Namaste Yoga. And also an extra special thanks to Ken from Naturals Apparel for the fabulous yoga clothes that he has donated to Namaste Yoga. So thank you so much, Ken. That's it for episode 7. Have a great week. Enjoy this practice, and I will see you all next week. Maybe we'll bring our hands and say Namaste. Namaste.